Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you have enjoyed the last two videos, and this is going to be the last video. I'm detailing my story, and this video in particular is super exciting because this is where I'm going to explain how I got success, and hopefully it is a bunch of value for you. Now, make sure real quick, go down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, just so I can get this out to more people, and I'm trying to grow this channel as fast as possible, and it would be greatly appreciated if you would do that. Now, with that being said, I will go ahead and jump right in where we left off from the last video. So the last video obviously was talking about some of the trauma that happened in my life, and then some of the decisions I've made throughout my career to be able to get to where I am today. And one of those last decisions that really made the success happen was that application that I filled out for $99,000 plus a year, which ended up being the car dealership. So I'm going to start off right there, and we're going to dive right into it. All right. So with that being said, what I did in particular was I filled out that application, I landed the interview, and as soon as I got the interview, I was just super honest, right? I told the manager at the car dealership, look, I just want to be successful. I want to outwork everybody. I want to hustle. I want to grind, and I want to win, right? And apparently that stood out to them, obviously, because that's who they want as a salesperson when they are looking for somebody. They want somebody that is coachable. They want somebody that is willing to win no matter what, and they want somebody that has a fire in them that you can't teach, right? And that was what I had in those moments. So I got hired on the spot right there, started a couple days later, and began the training process, okay? And that was a very interesting process, which I'm going to break down for you right now. So once I got to the dealership, I realized that you had to talk to people a lot, and I hated that. That was the scariest moment for me in my life because I was a big-time introvert. I hated talking to people for two reasons. Number one, my confidence was very low in those regards in terms of talking to people and communication. And second, I'm going to be completely honest. I thought most people were absolutely stupid. Sometimes I still have those thoughts, but that was the number one thing that was in the back of my head, and I didn't want to communicate with people because it just didn't make any sense for me too. However, at this job, it made all the sense for me too. And that was the job, was communicating, talking, and all that good stuff. So I was terrified of that, obviously, but I made it work because I wanted to win. And that trumped everything that was in my way, that was roadblocks, that scared me, that gave me fear. It didn't matter. Whatever I wanted to do in that moment, I was going to do it. Whatever I didn't want to do, I was going to do it anyway, right? Because I wanted to win. And that is the number one thing that I think separated me from everybody else, and that you have to have if you are going to get into the game of making money. You have to win, and you have to want to win more than anything else. If something scares you, if something frightens you, if something seems too hard, do it anyway. Otherwise, you're not going to win, right? And you just have to remember the goal and the reason why you're doing it in the back of your head every single day so that you can go succeed. Now, with that being said, I digress. In the training period, what I did was I started by, first of all, the first 2 days was just getting familiar with all the cars, right? So I drove all the cars, did all that good stuff, whatever. That was kind of boring. I'm not going to go into that very much. It was just getting to know the product, right? Because that's very important. If you're going to sell something, you need to know what the hell you're selling, right? So that is what I did. I got familiar with the products. And after those 2 days, I got to train under somebody. And it was my choice of who I got to train under and learn the skills of selling, going through the deal, understanding the pieces of paper that you present to people, understanding how to get those pieces of paper in the first place, how to get somebody inside, all that good stuff, right? So I picked the number one guy at the dealership. He was the leader for a long time. He won multiple different trophies for Salesman of the Month, and he was beating everybody. So I trained under him, and every single day for the next 2 weeks, I was attached to his hip trying to see what it is that he was doing, what he was saying, how he was presenting, the tonality that he was using, everything. Now, at that time, obviously, I didn't know any of that stuff. I was just trying to learn of what exactly he was doing so I could mimic it, right? Then he would take me through deals and all that good stuff, and eventually, closer to time, I started presenting my own. I started talking to my own people, and he would shadow me and watch me and say, hey, make sure you're doing this, make sure you're doing this, all that good stuff, and he would kind of chime in if I missed something, right? That helped me greatly. And no matter where you are or what you're doing in your life, you are going to go through some sort of training period, and you need to understand that. No matter what job you get anywhere on the planet, they are going to put you through some training. So if you think you're above coaching and mentoring and all that good stuff, you're not going to get anywhere, right? You are going to get mentored and trained no matter where you go at any point in time. Some are just better than others, and some are more expensive than others because they're better, right? So please keep that in mind, and keep an open mind when you're looking at mentorships and training and all that good stuff, because they help tremendously, and I'll talk about that a little later as well. But I got trained, I started practicing, and every day that I would go home, I'd practice either on my girlfriend at that time or in the mirror, right? And I would continuously train over and over and over again because I wanted to be the best, right? Then the very first day that I got done with training, I went out, I talked to a person. I got very lucky with this because she was going to buy no matter what, right? Because she really wanted a Civic. She had had a couple for a long time, but regardless, I went out, I spoke to her, and I closed my first deal on the first person that I talked to after training. And that was very exciting, and it gave me a huge confidence boost. And that's the number one thing I think sales really helps with. If you're low on confidence, anything like that, it will boost your confidence very greatly. And it will help you be able to walk in that leadership role because of how you walk. Chest out, shoulders back, everything in between, because you know that you can talk to anybody and do anything at any time, and you can make a lot of money within about 30-45 minutes. So that being said, I closed that first deal, and then that first month I went on to become salesman of the month. So I sold more cars. I actually beat the guy out that I trained under for the first month, got the salesman of the month trophy, which is back there behind me. And then I went on to win almost every single month after that. And I destroyed everybody on purpose because I was trying to win. I wasn't just trying to win on the board. I was trying to win with my paychecks. I was trying to win and be the best that ever came to that dealership. Now, keep in mind, this dealership was very small. It was in a very small town in Arkansas. So if you sold an average of, 5-10 cars a month, you were doing pretty well there, right? If you sold 15 cars, you were killing it, right? Each month, end over end, I sold anywhere between 20 and 30 cars every single month consistently. I destroyed everybody, right? And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because I had an ambition to win, and you can do the same thing. There was nothing special about me. There was nothing special about the skills that I had. A lot of people, even at the dealership, were like, man, this guy's just a natural born salesman. I don't believe in any of that crap. You're not a natural born salesman. You just have to work. I worked hard. I trained every single day, and I constantly learned something new every single day. Not just from the people around me, but I paid for trainings while I was at the dealership. Grant Cardone had an auto sales little course that I took, right? I bought that for $1,000, made sure and did everything I could to train. Andy Elliott, I know he's big on YouTube right now. He is an absolute beast, especially in the car dealership. I watched his YouTube videos relentlessly and trained and trained and trained again and again and again, right? That was why I was different. That's why I was successful. Not because I had some natural born sales talent or whatever. I hated talking to people. I didn't want to talk to people. I just worked hard, right? That was it. So anyways, fast forward to that. I was crushing everybody, making a bunch of money. And then I started looking up to management just like I had at previous jobs. Bear in mind, at car dealerships, management, especially general managers and things like that, they make a lot of money. So that looked very enticing, but the freedom still was kind of getting me because they worked a lot of hours. I worked a ton of hours when I was at the car dealership, 10, 12-hour days every single day, except for Sunday, right? That was my life. I grinded, made all this money, and can never spend it. I got vacation once a year, and that sucked, right? So I looked up to management, all that good stuff, and they were making ridiculous money. My first year, just to put in context with this, my very first year in the car business, I made over $150,000. So there was a lot of money involved in it, right? Sales is one of those games that you can make doctor money without going to doctor school. It's great. It's one of the best things you could ever do. But I got into it, looked at the management, and I was like, you know what? I got to own my own business if I want freedom. So I started looking online, right? And I started looking everywhere. And bear in mind, I know you've probably seen it. There's probably an ad come up in some of my YouTube videos, right? That are like, hey, you can make $1 zillion doing this, and you can click a button and make 5,000 doing this, and blah, 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 blah. There's a ton of stuff, okay? Trust me when I tell you, I looked into all of it. Everything that you could think of, trading, e-commerce, SMMAs, affiliate, right? Everything. The first thing I started off with was actually an SMMA, but it wasn't my service. I actually sold the service, so I was basically a closer for the company. I was a white label closer. And during that time period, it was very interesting because I did close a couple deals, but I realized very quickly the remote space is a lot different than in-person sales, just strictly because of the trust, right? The trust factor is a lot different. And so I started going down that route. And then I got a mentor, and that mentor, I paid, I believe, $6,000 for him. And that mentor showed me two things. One, how to be better on online sales, and two, how to start your own business eventually. And I'll get to that point, right? But in the sales aspect of things, I started actually selling an affiliate product in that regard, and I started closing deals. I got my mentor, trained under him, practiced every day, did everything that I did just like the car dealership. My first month, I made $20,000, which was incredible. It was the most money I had ever made. At the car dealership, I was averaging about 10 to 15 grand. The first month of training and doing all this stuff in the online business, I made 20 grand. But the 20 grand was cool. The first deal was the best. Closed my first $3,000 deal, paid in full, and that's when I realized that everything is real. And just like you've probably seen a ton of this stuff, and you're like, maybe you've even went through the courses, and you're like, I don't know if this is real, all that good stuff. And it never becomes real until you actually do something, right? I went through multiple different programs, had a mentor, all that good stuff, and the mentor was kind of my last chance, or I would have to go back and make money somewhere else. But when I closed that first deal, that changed everything, because I realized, holy crap, all I need is a laptop and skills. That's it. And I can make money for a very long period of time from wherever in the world. And I have freedom and I can make money, right? So I went on, sold $10,000, $20,000 a month on and off, nonstop, all that good stuff. And then I ended up starting my own business where I was teaching people how to sell affiliate offers, just like I had done. And that was a very defining moment. I ended up scaling that business to about $50,000 to $70,000 a month, which was incredible money, more than I had ever seen and any of the people that I know had ever made. So that was very, very good, very interesting time period in my life. And then I got into another mastermind, bear in mind that I paid $40,000 for. And yes, those exist. It's a lot of money, right? But I paid $40,000 for it, and I met one of my lifelong friends now and business partner, Kenton Martin. And we had similar businesses in terms of teaching people what to do. He was on TikTok, I was on Facebook. And we went for that year and just did our own thing. And then eventually I called him up and I was like, hey man, you've had sales skills for a long time. I've had sales skills for a long time. We're really good at it. Why don't we just put those together and start a new company? That's exactly what we did. I think a day after that phone call, we had everything set up, right? Because we moved super fast, all that good stuff. But we ended up scaling this business that we currently have right now, which is teaching people how to do sales, how to make money. And the reason we chose that is a couple reasons. One, because it gives people confidence and it helps them throughout their life. It's not just about making money. It's about giving you confidence, giving you skills, giving you connections, giving you networks. And sales does that for you, right? And number two, money and freedom, okay? We know the possibilities in it because we've achieved it over and over and over again. So we teach people how to do that now. And that is absolutely incredible. And to see the people that are coming through our program and then leaving their videos and their pictures, it's just one of the best feelings that we could ever have imagined because people are changing their life and we absolutely love it. So with that being said, we ended up starting this company, and now me and him both make over $200,000 a month. Now, I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, like it doesn't make sense, but if you've been on this side of YouTube, you probably know Alex Hormozi and all those guys. It is very possible, right? We make a lot of money because of the skills that we acquired. And now I've finally been able to have the chance to take care of my family, take care of myself, take care of my girlfriend, do all that good stuff. So nobody really works, right? And that is absolutely incredible. I got the chance, and the online space gave me the chance to step up and be the leader that I was trying to be for all these years. And I'm going to continue to do it, continue to step up, continue to win. And anybody that has that same aspiration, same everything, let me know in the comments, right? If you have that same aspiration to win, let me know in the comments, because you are going to be just like me and so many others one day, where you go, you search, you work hard, and you will win. It's inevitable if you just keep going, right? That's the number one lesson that I learned through all this, is just get up and don't quit, right? So with that being said, that is my story. That is how I came to the things that I've come to today. And it has been absolutely incredible. It's been an incredible journey of ups and downs, all that good stuff. But if everything didn't happen in my life the way it happened, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And thank the Lord for everything that he's provided. And I'm going to continue to push forward, all that good stuff. And if you are wanting to push forward too, just consume my content. I'm going to be doing a lot of valuable stuff on sales and all that good stuff in the near future. So make sure and subscribe so you can get those notifications for the videos, all that good stuff. And you can start to become a closer if you want to, a business owner if you want to, whatever the case may be, to get that success that you're looking for. So stay tuned for future videos. I'm going to be uploading all that good stuff. And if you would like to join our program, I am going to be having links in the description below, as well as my Instagram. If you want to hit me up on Instagram, it's Zach Collins CEO. Hit me up on Instagram at any time, and we'll see if you're a good fit for our program. But with that being said, thank you so much for staying tuned and watching this whole video, and I wish you all success. Peace.